Okay, last but not least for employment, in past years we have recognized departmental leadership in the public sector through an Inclusive Employer Award, celebrating the many incredible departments and agencies in the federal public service doing important and impactful work to deliver inclusive employment. We are thankful to have with us tonight a few of our past recipients, including Daniel Carlton, now Chief of Staff to Deputy Minister Michelle Kovacevic at Indigenous Canada, who was instrumental in Finance Canada receiving this award in 2023. We also want to recognize Laurieve Bergeron, Head of Human Resources at Innovation, Science and Economic Development Canada, who has continued to show strong leadership at ISED, building on the department's success as a 2024 recipient of this award. And we are delighted to have the RCMP here with us tonight as well. You'll be hearing more about them soon. This year, instead of focusing on a department, we are going to recognize an individual whose leadership has helped move this work forward in a meaningful and lasting way. I also want to say how genuinely excited I am about this year's recipient. It has been such a pleasure to get to know her work and witness her leadership in action. The Inclusive Employment Champion Award recognizes a champion who has demonstrated outstanding commitment to advancing inclusive employment for people with intellectual disabilities and autistic persons, and who is helping to influence change within their organization and beyond. It is my pleasure to now introduce our esteemed guest presenter to continue with this presentation. Mary Gasella has been recognized at the highest levels for her distinguished career in Canada's federal public service, including receiving the Prime Minister's Outstanding Achievement Award for her contributions. In retirement, she continues to make a significant impact as the volunteer chair of the LiveWorkPlay Federal Employment Strategy Group, where her leadership advances inclusive employment opportunities for Canadians. Mary, I know I speak for all of us when I say how grateful I am. I'm getting teary. We are for your ongoing commitment, your insight, and the care you bring to this work. Please join me in welcoming Mary Gasella to continue with this presentation.
Well, it's always a privilege for me to be part of this celebration. It's a unique opportunity to highlight the work of our public service by celebrating this year an individual leader. As many of you know, we have been working alongside, LiveWorkPlay has been working alongside the federal public service for over a decade now, supporting hundreds of hires across dozens of departments. And what we've learned through that work is that meaningful change does not happen by accident. It happens because of leadership. Leadership that is intentional, leadership that is consistent, and leadership that recognizes talent and creates the conditions for people to succeed. This year's recipient is someone who truly embodies these qualities. We were introduced to Janelle Wright in the fall of 2024 by another inclusive employment champion, Daniel Carlton, who's here with us tonight. And what followed was not a long, drawn-out process, but rather thoughtful and decisive action. By January 2025, 6 individuals had already been hired to digitize departmental records, contributing to important work that supports automation and efficiency within Finance Canada. That kind of momentum speaks volumes. But what makes Janelle's leadership especially impactful goes far beyond those numbers. Despite the demanding schedule and responsibilities of an assistant minister job, Janelle Wright is connected to the work of the entire Finance Canada team. As noted by Robert Olson, our inclusion specialist with LiveWorkPlay, Janelle is approachable, she's thoughtful, and she consistently focused on the well-being and success of departmental staff at all levels. Her leadership contributes to an atmosphere of trust and respect that is felt by all employees. She's also a long-term thinker, someone who looks beyond the immediate moment and considers what is best not only for her branch, but also for Finance Canada and for all employees. And she acts on what she sees. That comes back to the action point I made. Recognizing the success of short-term, high-impact work, she has supported continuing and building on those opportunities to create lasting value. In fact, her impact extends well beyond her own department, because Janelle shared her leadership and insights through presentations at our Federal Employment Strategy Group. She has helped connect this work to the Human Resources Council of the Federal Public Service, and she consistently opens doors to new relationships and opportunities. She's not only advancing inclusive employment within Finance Canada, but helping to move it forward across the entire public service. So what's clear in all of this is that Janelle is not just supporting inclusive employment, she's strengthening it, and she's embedding it, and she's helping it grow. So Janelle, I want you to know that we see the way you lead, the way you show up for your team, and the impact that you're making. It truly matters, and we are deeply grateful. To help us celebrate this moment, I'd like to invite Kimberly Wright, Natalie Smith, Antoine Larive, who are with the RCMP, and of course, as you'll recall, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police was last year's recipient of the 2025 Public Service Inclusive Employer Award. I'd like them to join us up here on the stage for the presentation. And I'd like all of you to congratulate Janelle, Assistant Deputy Minister at Finance Canada,